we've got to talk about who's tweeting.
Roach Koach
podcast.
That's right. We're going to talk about feedback. We're going to talk about new news. We're going to talk about so much on this episode. But to kick things off, Matt, we're coming up on 9 years of the Koach.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. 9 years of the Koach. And, we were thinking, what can we do this summer? We could do this. We could do that. And nothing was really grabbing us. You're looking for the muse. You're looking for the inspiration. And then there I am in the Exchange in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I see the spine of a record I did not know existed. Did not know it was a thing. I looked at this thing and I said, I need to grab this. And I went to touch it. But Matt, if you know anything about the Exchange, it's all behind glass, baby. Because they know they got some hot hands. Ready to just grab them CDs, grab them Blu-rays, run out the door. They got to put that glass up. You got to find an employee. I said, sir, can you open up this glass for me? He opened it up and I reached in and grabbed this CD. I flipped it up. I looked at it. I said, I can't believe this is real. Can't believe this is real. And I texted you, Matt, and I said, Matt, it's time to get ready for another edition of Side Project Summer.
There it is.
That's right. We are going to have Side Project Summer this summer. And unlike last summer, in which we did all by one artist, which we all agree went great, and we certainly didn't get bored halfway through.
No.
It's
No
this summer.
regret summer.
No regret summer. So this summer, we will be doing 4 records by 4 different nu metal artists who decided to do something on the side. We're very excited to dive in, especially to this record that I did not know existed. That really kicked this all off. So we'll be doing this all summer. So if you've been saying, what are you guys going to do? You going to do something crazy, something different? We said, no, we're going to do Side Project Summer the way it's always been meant to be done. And we're very excited to dive in. And it was one of those things also where I was like, oh, is it April? It's almost summer. I can't believe it. So, yeah. And so that's what we'll be doing this summer. And we think you're going to love it. We think you're going to love it. Because not only are we doing the surprise record, we're going to be doing a record that I think people have been expecting us to do for a long time. And we're also going to do a record that people have been begging us to do. People, I would say that this is a record that we are one step removed from people knocking on our windows and doors going, when? You may know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, it's coming. We're going to do it. We're going to.
Now, that's me remembering you telling me.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Now, fans will know this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a broken fridge, man. I can't keep anything a secret. Don't tell me shit. Because it's going to get blabbed in them streets.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings you to this sweet message from your sponsors, Lauren and me.
Mm-hmm.
Patreon. What are we doing? Everything. What do we do the top of the month? Why? We give you an update on the Koach.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like, I got to get those deep Koach secrets. I got to know what Lauren won't tell me. Well, I'll tell you this. Matt fucking will. I'll blow you want to know what's on the long list? I don't give a shit. I will tell you everything that's on the long list. But I need you over there. The first Thursday of the month generally is when I do this. So the next one will be in May. And I can tell you, you can join 2 levels. Free gives you access to the Thursday update. It kind of pay your own way up to $7, the suggested retail price of our membership.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to give you full access to the Pact every episode.
Every episode. Mm-hmm.
It's going to give you full access to our live stream and full access to any future podcasts that we're going to do, which we might be announcing shortly. By the way, I've already blown it for everybody who's already Patreon member. They fucking know.
They know.
So you know there ain't no secrets with this house.
There's no secrets with Matt. I like to keep it a little bit, and then yeah, but you get in the Patreon, you're gonna get Matt just blibbing and blabbing.
Just
blibbing and blabbing.
Just blibbing and blabbing. Join for free. Come on over. We'd love to see you. Patreon. It helps us keep this ad free. Because I'm just looking at these Ridge wallets being like, we could throw a promo code up here. Now, back to the show. Back to what we do.
Back to what we do, Matt. You know,
we never said patreon.com/Roach Koach podcast.
That's why we're the best in the biz.
That's why we're professionals. That is why we're rolling in money.
That's exactly right, Matt. Matt, one place that we are definitely rolling in it is YouTube. For news, which means we have a new segment called Who's Talking on the Tube?
Who's Talking on the Tube?
Matt, we got some wonderful questions. We got some wonderful comments on the YouTube from our now legendary Who's Festing episode in which you almost died. Sean G 423 said, guys, in the interest of your safety and sanity, I want to tread lightly here, but Dream Theater is currently on their 40th anniversary tour and have announced they will be playing their new album in full this fall. So they may actually need an entirely new symbol to put next to their name that will be absolutely inscrutable on any low resolution poster image. Sean G 423. Thank you for this information. I'm glad to know this is going on with Dream Theater. I'm glad to know that more fonts and more wingdings are going to be needed for this stuff. I also want to let you all know that friend of the show and friend to all, Josh Toomey, messaged me to let me know that he thought it was very, very funny that I was wrong every single time I tried to guess if a band was reuniting or breaking up. He said that it was very funny for us to name a band and him go, oh yeah, those guys have been together forever. And me going, wow, I guess they're reuniting. And vice versa. He said it was almost comical, or it was comical, that I was wrong every single time. And you know what? Being wrong every single time,
that's the Roach Koach promise.
It's the Roach Koach promise. So thank you so much for that. And we should just mention it now. Josh Toomey.
Mm-hmm.
He is doing a show with David Eppleston from Megadeth, where they're talking bass, they're talking metal, they're talking new metal, they're talking so much. It's so amazing. I'm so excited for him. Now it's literally everybody wants to know what's going on and everybody wants a piece of Josh Toomey. And it's funny because I like to think we've been pretty ground zero day one with Josh Toomey of knowing this is the guy here. And I like that, David said, if I'm going to do a pod and it's going to be worth a shit, I got to do it with Josh Toomey. He's the only one who can guide me right.
Yeah.
And I think it's true. So definitely check that show out if you haven't already. And you already know about it because every fucking site, Metal Injection, the PRP, Metal News, Metal Net, Metal Up the Ass, all these metal sites, they want a piece. They want to know what's happening. They're reposting. They're quoting. Josh Toomey's name is in ink and in lights everywhere, as it should be.
That's right, baby.
Matt, we also got this message on YouTube. I'm going to say this is pronounced Unkaj, who said, definitely one of the funniest eps in a bit. Sorry, Matt, but I am a certified fan of Who's Festing. Matt, how does it feel to know that this segment that causes you so much physical pain, that may be slowly killing you, is also a fan favorite?
Yeah, it's not great. It flies straight in the face of what I hold near and dear to my heart, is that people don't want to be read band names. But at this point, I have to accept it as a blessing and a curse.
Mm-hmm.
Because Schadenfreude is real. Mm-hmm. And, I will always reference the Chris Gethard show. Mm-hmm. Chris Gethard show was comic. He had a show. They did characters. And just like you loathed Funky Ken the first time, mm-hmm. Chris Gethard loathed the character that they created called Vacation Jason. and all he was a character who was on vacation, and people loved it, and it drove him crazy, and eventually it just becomes part of the whole oeuvre. That's what Who's Festing has become. Because no, I'm never going to pretend that I like it, because I don't. It drives me insane. But at the same time, that's now part of it. Like, it just is part of it.
It just is. I got to tell you, every time I log in and they're letting me know Download Fest has announced its lineup, 14 days of metal. I'm like, cool, great. Let's see what this does to Matt this week. So yeah, I did receive some messages that we didn't talk about it, but it's because I wasn't going to read everybody who's going to be there. But Korn is playing Lollapalooza, so I just want to say, mini Who's Festing. Yep, new metal. It's here. It's back. It's all that. And Korn's at Lolla. There you go. They were due. LB played Lolla. I'm sure there was a text thread, and then Korn's like, "When do we get to play?" Well, the answer is this year. So there you go. If you're in Chicago and you want to stand in the sun and see Korn, now's your time. This summer. Matt, we got a new segment.
Also, don't want to leave this one behind on the old tube. Wanted to give a shout out to the Heavy Frequency. They mentioned us on their. They were very excited that My Ticket Home is coming back. Watched our video, and they made their own reaction video to our video.
Oh, well, very nice. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you for reacting. Much appreciated. Matt, we have a new segment that you've created.
Yes.
It is called Taking It on the Chin.
Taking it on the chin. As Roach Riders and Indigo Angels have known for the last year or so, we've attempted to what I like to call put food on our family and get more people exposed to the Koach. And we were lucky enough to, at the Louisville Loves New Metal last year, do some this or that's or what's your favorites with some people, including one Josh Toomey. We made that video. We put it out there. People liked it. It was going great. And then all of a sudden, Lauren, you and I, not a dollar into the machine. A commenter named Otis B. Driftwood commented. This was like the chain reaction. This was like the fission engine being turned on. I don't get Deftones at all. A real like thought starter, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Buddy, since he did that video has been off to the races. What do you mean you don't get Deftones? Couldn't agree with you more. Chino is the best. So sexy. All he does is moan. We hate it. Since that happened, which, by the way, that one comment, 126 replies.
Wow.
And each one more insane than the last. But some of them, what it makes me realize, having bonded with people through our show and recognize names and actually have conversations with them, when you go into that water, which is unfamiliar water and deep water, you actually realize that the conversation, very shallow. We go deep with the Koach, with the Roach Riders.
We do.
This is like, I came here to say that too. Now, most of the conversation, very civil. Everybody expressing their opinions, but keeping it professional. Like, I don't agree with that guy, but my vote is Lejean. Cool. Great. Yeah. That's what this is for. That is, we genetically engineered these for that.
Yeah.
But because this is the first one to pop off, Josh has been taking it on the chin a little bit. Gonna be honest. I can't think of a better guy to do it because I know that he would be like, I don't give a shit.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's been, what's been most interesting is that the thing that you think is going to be the concern, which I mean, this is a me thing more than anything else, because
Mhm.
you've been posting these videos, and all I can think about is, why did I wear these fucking shorts? That's all I can think about. No one cares, and I appreciate that. It's
Well,
so
I
funny
also
is that
have edited you.
you've done some really good cropping, but it's still this thing. It's still in there, and I still think about it. And yeah, but no one cares about it. It's literally everyone is just they're just like, you chose Chino over Corey Taylor. Ah! Like people just lose.
Taylor's your boss.
Corey Taylor's your
Sell
boss.
out.
He fills out your W-2? What? So that is what is the focus there. Listen, I'm already planning my outfit for Louisville Loves New Metal 2025. Do not worry, okay? For one, it's not going to be shorts, all right?
100 P.
100. I don't care if it's 100 degrees.
Oh, I'm wearing jeans, baby.
I'm wearing pants, all right? No doubt about it. So it's funny I say that because more than likely I'm just going to wear a Roach Coat shirt again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but you know what?
Absolutely.
You still have to plan that out. You know, you got to make sure that it's washed and it's unwrinkled, and you've got a pair of pants that go with it. So these are all things you have to prep for.
So I do in all of these comments, there is something. So I'm going to ask you, Lauren,
Yes.
for everybody that is asking, why do people like Deftones?
Why do people like Deftones?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to say a combination of a few things. They got some tasty riffs. The riffs are consistently tasty. And I would say that Chino is a preeminent frontman of the genre. And I would say that it's very rare that you get a band that is going to deliver both on record and in concert at a top quality level for as many years as they have. And I think those are all things that come together. And also, and this I feel is very important, is a lot of different people like a lot of different bands. But you know who likes Deftones? Girls. I'm just gonna say. So I will say. Here's the thing. I didn't even have this on the list. I don't know why I didn't have it on the docket rundown. I saw Deftones in concert.
I know that's here. Plant professionals.
You saw that I threw this whole running thing together and didn't mention that. Yes. So I saw Deftones. I saw them at their show. And it's a true 50-50 lads to ladies situation. And that's the thing. You go there, line for the men's room and a line for the ladies' room. Everybody waiting to piss. So you knew you had a full spectrum of people covered in the fandom. They looked amazing. They sounded amazing. Everything felt like a highlight, which is very rare when you go to see these shows. But also it really struck me that Chino is jumping, he's bouncing, he's running around. And when I consider the arc of his career and the arc of his personal presentation, for lack of a better word, this guy could be in a pretty bad state. And instead, he looks healthier than a lot of other guys. And when I think about how a lot of people have turned out who can and can't do certain things, I'm like, Chino really turned it around. He is easily one of the most physical front men I've seen. Like, he is running the stage, running around, and he's still nailing it. He's still nailing it.
Tons of clips from this tour, and he is very active.
Yeah. It was very exciting to see them do that. Now, it's funny is that I'm now old enough and I've seen Deftones enough times that really there isn't anything they can drop into the set that I'm going to go, I cannot fucking believe it. And I think that's just an age thing, because I've seen a lot of people go, oh, they're doing Bored. I think I've seen them do Bored a bunch of times over the last 20 years or what have you. So that wasn't like a big reveal for me. I mean, they did Tempest and I was like, yeah, fucking do Tempest, baby. That's what I'm here for. You've seen The Butcher. I was like, yes, you've seen The Butcher. Amazing. And yeah, it was incredible. They did Change. And at first, when they started Change, I was like, man, I don't know if I need Change anymore. And then they have this slowly rising image of a red sun or a red moon coming up behind Chino. Everybody's in the zone. And I was like, yeah, you gotta do change. Change.
Got
I
to.
gotta have it. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. It was incredible. If you go on setlist.fm, which the guy in front of me did all fucking night, come on, man. You'll know that they're doing the same set every night. And that's fine. Like they got it, they're locked in, they got a lot of light show, whole thing. It makes sense. But I think it's a great set. It spans the whole career. They open with Be Quiet and Drive. How's that? That's starting on the right foot. That's starting on the right foot, I'll say. And yeah, I thought it was a tremendous show. Really great. I skipped both openers. You know I ain't gonna sit there for Mars Volta playing a bunch of songs I don't know. I barely like the songs I do know. I'm gonna sit there for the ones I don't know.
Right.
Give me a
Come
break.
on. What am I, crazy?
Give me a break. Get crazy. So yeah, a tremendous night overall. I wore my Limp Bizkit shirt. A guy asked me if I went, and I was like, not only did I go, I met Fred, and he said, very cool. He said that he got tickets for $20, and it's the best $20 he's ever spent in his life.
I like that. I
There you go.
think that's appropriate.
I think so as well. I know people asking, Lauren, do you see any Machine Shop shirts? I did not. I was in Indiana, so that's probably why. I saw Disturbed. I saw Static X shirts. I saw a lot of Korn shirts. I was the only person in a Limp Bizkit shirt as far as I could see. But Nu Metal was representing. And I want to say this Static X shirt was like vintage. Like this guy like dusted it off. Like
Wow.
he got his Wisconsin Death Trip one ready to go for the Tones show. I did not buy any merch, partially because I already have so many Deftones shirts. Also because the Overton window for t-shirt prices at concerts, we're through it. I cannot go for a $50 t-shirt. I can't do it.
No.
I can't do it.
No.
And none of them were quite what I wanted, in regards to this. Also, the line situation, a little long. I don't think the merch people really had their game together in the same way that some other shows I've seen have it together.
The recent two shows that we've seen, the Korn and the Limp Bizkit, they had it on lock. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Seemed very clear.
Yeah, this one, for whatever reason, I mean, at one point I was like, there was this line that was just running. I was like, is this for the merch? Is this for, what could this be? And I realized it had to be for merch. And it just wrapped around. And I was like, none of those shirts were quite what I was looking for. I saw a guy in a self-titled shirt with the skull on it. It was very big and said Deftones. And I was like, great fucking shirt. So, yeah, so that's my shirt report.
Love a good shirt report.
I know you love a shirt report. So, yeah, so Deftones, this tour, they fucking did it. I'm excited for this new record when it comes. I feel fairly confident that much like every other Deftones record, it will be between good to great. That's what they do. It's what they do. Matt, let's talk about who's recommending. So, Matt, you talked about that Patreon. You talked about that live stream. If you're in the live stream on the Patreon, patreon.com/RoachCoach podcast, you can throw recs into the chat, and Matt and I will grab them. And we will either do them on the live stream, or in the case of this one, notice it after the fact and say, we're going to do this on the next Who's Tweeting. And that's right. What we're doing. Matt rolled into the chat, different Matt, not the Matt Nas, and he recommended a song called Are You Happy Now by Resistors.
Here we go. Are You Happy Now by Resistor. I gotta turn it down. We would have just played that whole thing. We'll let that ride
Wow.
to the sunset.
Quite a song. I know that there's a lot to grab onto there with the slow down, with the grind, but listen, them scratches, them swirls, that's what I'm here for, baby. When you put them scratches on top of the electric guitar, it's new metal, baby. It's new
That's
metal.
new metal.
How'd you feel about that one, Matt?
I liked it a lot. It is very fun to hear stuff like that. That is, you're alone in your car, you've turned it up, and you're beating the shit out of your steering wheel. A lot of poof, 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 poof on the steering wheel to that song.
I gotta tell you, being a steering wheel, tough job. All right. Tough job, and can only get tougher with a song like this. This song comes on, you know, every steering wheel's like, fuck, I'm in for
Here it
today.
comes.
Here it comes. I don't like this. Yeah, so yeah, you know, every steering wheel is, please let this guy be like into new age music, you know? They see some metalhead get in, he's like, oh, I'm in for it. I'm getting beat. So Matt, thank you so much for that recommendation. Matt, let's talk about it. Let's talk about who's emailing.
Who's emailing?
We got an email from Anton. The subject, a recommendation, death/gentcore with new metal groove. I opened this pretty fast. I'll say that.
All right.
Hey, Roach Coach. My name's Anton. I'm a longtime listener. Love the show. A few times you mentioned with surprise how you even have listeners in Moscow, Russia, ordering your t-shirt merch. That was me, and it was funny hearing that on the show. Anton, hello.
And thank you.
Now to the recommendation. Check out this new track from Humanity's Last Breath called Anthracite. It's a main project of Swedish musician/producer Buster Oldham, who plays drums in and produces a little band called Throne. I think you've heard of them, winky face emoji. He also produces Alt. While HLB is more of a death jet metal, Buster is very open about Slipknot being a huge influence on him, and his riffs tend to have a very new metal groove feeling, and mixed with sound design tricks and soundscapes, it is definitely a music for the end of the world. Keep it rolling, baby. Wish you the best, Anton.
Keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling. We wish you the best as well. Matt, Humanity's Last Breath?
This is Anthracite. All right, I'm pulling it down. a little.
Matt, I gotta tell you.
1 second.
Hold on.
All right, no one's safe. No one's safe from Anthracite.
No one is safe from this. And I got to tell you, over the years, a lot of people have used a lot of different descriptors for metal music, abrasive dubstep music, gent, all this type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've talked about before my dad saying, oh, this sounds like music. This sounds like somebody throwing a drum set down a staircase.
Yep.
And I remember a criticism about early Skrillex production was it sounds like robots fucking or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
I gotta tell you, I have never truly more felt this is the sound of like Optimus Prime on a one night stand than this music right now. All right.
Energon cubes.
I got to tell you, I listened to this and I'm like, Optimus Prime
It's just
went to
throwing Energon
he
cubes.
he is truly this
Tossing
is too
batches of Energon cubes.
all I gotta say, this is now if you've always wondered what would it be if two Transformers truly went to town on each other, this is it. This is it. This sounds like sheets of metal scraping. This sounds like all those things. That's all I could think. That's all I could think. Incredible to listen to. It sounds humongous. It sounds gigantic. It sounds like it could be coming out of speakers the size of buildings. Amazing. I loved it. Matt?
Always delighted by music that is way more aggressive than I've ever been in my whole entire life. I think that's why it just makes me laugh, because it's just, what are you guys? Are you
can
okay?
never get there mood wise. Like you can think of the maddest you've ever been. You're just like, I'm still wouldn't be here.
Correct. Yeah, the maddest I've been in my life. I'm never making these sounds.
No, you're not.
I have to agree with you that it does sound like full robot on robot intercourse. I love when they do the drop thing. I mean, at this point, the gent moves are pretty established, and they do them well. And I don't know, it's just like resolving chords at this point. It's like the math is there, don't screw it up. And they didn't. Right. They did what they were supposed to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is getting it all right. Absolutely. I loved it. I loved it. And I definitely went once knowing, I mean, it feels like a bit of a cheat code here, but knowing that this is involved in Throne and then listening to this, and I can hear it. I can definitely hear the comparison, except Throne can't help but go faster. Throne are just looking to just rip all of your limbs off. And this sounds like your limbs are going to get ripped off, but for a different purpose. I'm just So Anton, thank you so much.
Thank you, Anton. And it reminded me of a comment that we got from friend of the show, Dan Terry. I don't know if he commented it or sent it to me directly, but it was just like, can't wait for the show where it's just Matt reacts to grindcore. And I'm just like, yep, it'll just be me laughing to the most inappropriately named songs of all time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, also calling it Humanity's Last Breath, Anthracite. I mean, perfect. I mean, they nailed it with that one. So yeah, Anton, thank you. Matt, how about you tell us about this email from A Mixing Standpoint?
I love that. I love that email name, Mixing Standpoint. That's great. Subject, maybe give Zebrahead another shot. Okay. A little slower on the open, gonna be honest.
A little bit.
Gonna be honest, but we're here. Hello, everyone at Roach Koach. I saw your video for Zebrahead's debut album, Waste of Mine, and totally get why you guys didn't vibe with it, as even they said it was a little all over the place. I do think you guys would like their third release, MFZB, which I have to believe stands for Mother Freaking Zebrahead, as that album contains their most heavy-sounding stuff, as mentioned by those comments you read aloud in the Waste of Mine review video. It's your show, all up to you, but I think you guys would really dig it. And if you wanted to have Josh Toomey on for it, I think you would like it too. Round up the yoo-hoos.
Let's get them up. Now that I've found a glass bottle, now I know where to get them now. I don't know if I told this story on the show. I don't think I did. Spending so much time trying to hunt down Yoo-Hoo, having to buy that pack of boxes that I did not finish. I ended up throwing those away. And then I went to a gas station across the street from my job, I think the day after we recorded, and right in the cooler, there was a glass bottle of Yoo-Hoo. And I was wow. You were here the whole fucking time? Unbelievable. I did not buy one. I bought a Celsius. So I love this email for a couple of reasons. First of all, I love the tone. It's very kind, makes its points. I like that they basically just say, Josh Toomey, come back on the show as well. I love it when you book,
love that.
Love it when you book guests for us. Thank you. It takes a lot of the work out. Josh Toomey, of course, loves, listen, it's not like he's busy,
How dare you?
but no, we'd love to have Josh back on. I do think now the album is called MFZB. Okay.
I
So
have
Matt,
found the most popular song
okay.
off of MFZB.
Before you do that, though, Matt, I just want to point out that if the idea here is that that's supposed to stand for motherfucking Zebrahead, I'm just going to point out that the other capitalized letter in
It's B.
Zebrahead is ZB. It's not. It actually should be ZH.
Correct.
But when you're excited, all bets are off, and that's probably what happened. They're like, "We're MFZB, baby," and no one else corrected them. The Zebrahead faithful were like, "Sounds good to me," and I guess MFZH doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same way. But yeah, Matt, I mean, here's the thing: heavier, harder Zebrahead. That such a thing could be possible, I don't know. What's the number one song from this album?
With 32 million streams.
What?
With 32 million streams.
MFZ.
ZB's very own Falling Apart.
Mm.
I'm going to safely say
Yeah, Matt.
that will probably be the last time we play a Zebra's Head song on Roach Koach. And it isn't because I don't like it. I actually am fine with that. But I don't think it's new metal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think us just listening to that full record and saying this is not new metal would be terribly interesting.
Matt, I gotta say, listening to it, it does feel a little bit like I think back. I was explaining to someone who had no idea that there was more than one Crazy Town album,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and that how Crazy Town tried to pivot to a Linkin Park with their second record. And I played a little bit of the single, which was, like we said, Crazy Town trying to do a Linkin Park thing, and it just sounds weird and unusual. But I would say, though, listening to it, it's one that I'm like, I could feel Crazy Town like committing to the bit. They're like, we're gonna do this Linkin Parky, we're gonna get darker, we're gonna get sadder, we might even get a little slower than we've been. Listening to this song, which is called Falling Apart, so my first thought was, oh, is this Zebrahead's move? Are they gonna pivot to this?
Are they going to fall apart?
Are they going to fall
Wink.
apart? Yeah, exactly. And instead, they're like, no, BPM's up. We're still bouncing. You can still pogo to this song. We're still doing it. And I was like, yeah, no, this isn't it. It's still too pop punk. It's still too bouncy. They can commit. Now, for all the people who have been screaming about what this acronym MFZB means, I did look it up. It stands for motherfucking Zebrahead, bitch.
So close.
I know, right? I know, right? So yeah, now
Chuck the Freak come up with that one? Really sticking it to local personality.
man,
Local radio personality, Chuck the Freak.
It's a classic move. Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, I don't know if we're gonna dip back
we
into
could spend a
Zebrahead.
whole day talking about It's Friday Bitches by Chuck the Freaking Dave.
But we won't.
But we absolutely won't. But
we won't. But thank you so much for the recommendation. Keep them coming. Much appreciated. Josh Toomey right now, he'd been putting on his podcasting jacket. Now he's taking it off, but it's okay. We'll have him back on. Don't worry. He's friend of the show. He's always welcome. We love to have him on. Matt, we got an email from other friend of the show and past guest, Gareth Davies. The subject line for your ear holes. I opened this very quickly because Gareth Davies rarely steers us wrong. And all he had was a link to youtube.com. And he said, enjoy. Yes. So the band is called Kill Us Online. The song is called 556.
And here we go.
I've been called a bastard, ungrateful, tempted to say yes, when did to say no. It's pouring out, and we dancing with no raincoat. Dollar, dollar bills, dollar, dollar euros, pesos. If the money ain't good, acting out, shooting through the rope. Wanna be saved, couldn't do that for me, yo. Get deleted, get made, best of both worlds, seen five, seen gates. It's a rebirth, we reloaded, died and born again. Took a couple months to resurface, time and time again. Had to calibrate and gain focus. All different degrees, administer fees, we all pay at the end of the day. No difference to me, they told me time heals all. Give it space to breathe, Agent of Braille, Virgin Galactic. Bring it right back, like nothing happened, almost like we never left. I think I've been gaslit.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's really good. It was for our ear holes. It sounded great. Very happy to hear that. I think I'm not wrong when I say that this motherfucker is spittin'. Enjoyed this quite a bit. This is great. This is right in the alley of both feeling like new. Also reminds me of Head PE. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, this band Kill Us Online. I mean, this video on YouTube only has currently 114 views. We need to get them up.
You gotta crank those numbers up.
Get them numbers up. Bump it up. This one's prime. This is great. This is another one. Put this on your car. Your steering wheel's gonna hate you because you're gonna be bopping and booming. So yeah, I like that quite a bit. Gareth Davies, you did it again. Thank you so much, Matt.
Yeah, buddy.
We have a new segment. It's a
Yes,
little
we do.
scary because it does remind me of something that not friend of the show and recently canceled movie star Jigsaw would say. It's called Who Wants to Play a Game?
Who does? You want
Matt,
to play a late game, Lauren?
Matt, I guess I do. I'm a little afraid, but
Well, I'm
let's
interested.
play the
We
game.
we have a lot of options here for you, Lauren,
Okay.
because I'm always interested in your point of view. You are the dean of new metal,
I am.
but you're also a very talented improviser.
Thank you.
So I figured, why not give you an opportunity to either play What's My Favorite, do a blind ranking, or a new choice, brand new choice, where I give you a subject based on the idea of, is new metal good for blank? So if I say something like, hey, I need you to tell me, is new metal good for movie trailers? Do you think you could do a rant on that? Those are your choices.
Matt, I love to do a rant. I love to expound on my thoughts and opinions. So let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So I would love you. We're going to just use what we already said. Is new metal made for movie trailers?
Matt, new metal was bred in a lab for movie trailers. If you think about any movie trailer and you think, what's going to get my ass in the seat? It's going to be a sick ass riff with some scratches from DJ Worm. That's going to do it for you. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, Lauren, I feel like lately the move has been mournful redos of popular songs. I know this. We got to upend that. We got to end that shit. And the way you fix that is you put the riff from Out of Style in fucking Fast and Furious X2. You put that in there, baby. You put that in there with Vin Diesel coming out of a fucking fireball. 5 billion opening weekend. All right? Listen, that's what I'm saying. This is what you need. If you've got an action movie, you know what? You don't even need an action movie. Okay? Action movie is obvious. That's an obvious one. But I'm telling you, all these genres that have gone away, I got to tell you, if you've got a comedy movie coming out and you put rolling on top of it, you're going to be rolling in dough, baby. All right? That's what you need. You need new metal in your movie trailers. Okay? It's proven. It's always a great time because here's what's going to happen. You have two types of people. You're
Right.
fun. You're going to have your new metal people, and they're going to go, finally, my music in a trailer. What I needed. I'm being seen. I'm being heard. The second is the new metal hater. They're going to hear it. It's going to build this Pavlovian response in them. They're going to go, what? This? What? Huh? What? And yet they're still going to be there because they can't believe it. They thought it was gone. They thought it was dead, and here it is, right in front of their eyes and ears. It's back, baby. And they got to go investigate. They got to go, I thought this was dead. I got to go find out. Is this in the movie? Is this actually happening? Now, the trick, the move, you've got to decide, movie people, whether or not you're going to be brave enough to not just put it in your trailer, but put it in the movie itself. All right? Okay? It's one thing to trailer it, but it's another. I got to tell you, the feeling of excitement I felt when they played Tempest by Deftones in Fast and Furious 7, I remember thinking, oh, in the movie? In the movie? We get it? As a needle drop? Because most of the time, these needle drops, man, they're obvious as shit. You know? Sometimes I just want to go up to Zack Snyder and go, have you heard more than 5 songs, sir? Because it doesn't feel like it. So I think that is the move. You've got to have new metal in your trailers. It doesn't matter what genre. It works for all of them. And
Give me an example of a new metal drop that would work in a romantic comedy.
Butterfly. Easy. Easy. Easy.
Give me a new metal drop that would work in a World War II war movie.
Oh, World War II war movie? Matt, if you don't play Adidas in your trailer for I honestly do think that Reclaim My Place by Korn in the trailer for All on the Western Front, they could have taken it straight to the Oscars with that one. All right? They wouldn't have stalled out at just noms. They would have taken the gold. I think that if you use Boiler by Limp Bizkit for your psychological thriller, well done. Way to go. I don't know if they make psychological thrillers anymore, but I would say
They should.
they should. Absolutely.
Quick cue.
Yeah,
Do
man.
you think Bodies is an overused song in trailers now?
The day I say I don't want to hear bodies anymore is the day that I am a cold body. That's my answer to that.
Beautiful. Beautiful rant. Beautiful answers.
Thank
Straight from the heart from the dean of new metal.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Thank you. Thank you. You know, Matt, there's only one way to close out an episode of Roach Koach, and that is with Stupid F and Matt's new core for old heads. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
I'm glad.
Ah, Matt, this week, what are we listening to this week?
We've been working towards it, and we're finally here. This is Rap Rock Jesus by Silly Goose.
All right. Woo! Wow. I gotta tell you, Silly Goose, I've kind of been on the fence about a little bit because I think I was just a little put off by the level of gimmick with we've got to always perform in some weird location, like we're improv everywhere. So it's, people are enjoying themselves and you're like pulling up in a flatbed truck and inflicting new
Yeah.
metal on them, which, I mean, I get it. I want to share it as well, but there's a little bit, but people keep sharing songs with me. I know he did a song when I was on the POD cast and I was like, yeah, these guys are pretty good. And this is honestly, I think, the best thing I've heard from them so far. I really like this a lot. Of course, it's very self-referential, but it's doing what you want. And also, those opening lines, I was kind of hooked right away. Yeah, this is I think the best thing I've heard from Silly Goose so far. I enjoyed this quite a bit.
I agree. I think they understand what they're doing a lot more. There's a lot more clarity kind of in the songs, that not that they were goofy, but they put themselves in goofy situations. With that kind of like, we're performing in a subway, like,
Right, exactly.
And trust me, they're trying to get attention, and it's hard to get attention in this world now. But I think you're dancing for attention to get people to pay attention to what you're doing, so then you can do the stuff that you want to do. And this feels like this is the stuff that they've wanted to do, but if they just did this at the beginning, it would just kind of wash over people because there's so much music out there. So, no, I'm super excited. I know that they toured with our guys in the Unity TX. Speaking of which, have you heard the new Unity TX song?
Matt, have I heard the new Ripper? Yeah, of course. Yes.
Of course.
I was just putting this together and I was just like, I had overlooked, but I did listen to that, and it is like, what we thought Unity TX was going to miss?
I'm stoked to see what they do. I mean, I listened to Rock Shit again today, and I was like, Jesus, this is so good. I want all of this. So Silly Goose, thumbs up. Unity TX, thumbs up.
Absolutely. And believe it or not, that brings us to the end of another episode of Roach Koach. Thank you so much for listening. Keep on saying hello to us online: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky. We're on all those. Sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/RoachCoachPodcast. Send us an email, roachcoachpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, Matt, thank you.
Lauren, thank you.